hardest part for me has been trying to figure out what caused it all, and I think there's no real answer to that. I think a little bit is genetic. I remember I was on the boardwalk. I sat down on my mom's lap, and she was like, "Ouch!" She's like, "You're hurting me. Your bones like are digging into my legs." My aunt would say things like, "Oh, a lady always leaves food on her plate. We gotta be careful over the summer. There's ice cream and pizza and boardwalk food." Very early in my freshman semester, my first semester, I again almost completely stopped eating. So like the first thing I decided was that I didn't want to eat anything that had any fat content in it. And then at some point in that fall semester, I remember again walking back from the gym, and so school was 3 hours away, and I walked into my dorm and I saw my parents' car, and they hadn't called and told me they were coming, and I was like, shit, like this is not good. And I knew why they were there, and I found my parents. They were just outside of the resident director's office. My mom was crying, my dad was like his tears in his eyes. I promised I was okay. I ate a full dinner. We went to Olive Garden. I ate spaghetti, and that was probably the last actual meal I ate for the next year. Most of the time when people talk about anorexia, they're like, well, eat, like just eat, fix it, problem solved. And it's so much more complicated than that. Like I couldn't. Every single day I woke up and I wanted to. My parents cried daily. My mom used to sit outside my door to make sure I didn't die in the night. My potassium levels had dropped so low that my heart was stopping. They admitted me to the hospital, just a medical hospital, put some IVs in, and decided then that I would go to the next possible place they could find an opening for an eating disorder place. And so when I got there, because of the condition of my heart, they put me on bed rest for 2 weeks, which meant that I was only allowed to be in bed and in a wheelchair, wheeled to meals, and that was it. And so there weren't TVs in the rooms or anything, no phones or anything. I mean, I was just sitting in my room with my anorexic roommate. We weren't supposed to talk about anything, but they would, there were all these whispers like, how much do you weigh? How much have you gained? How much have you lost? How much? What did you do? And so there were, I think, 12 girls to a unit. It was very small. It was inpatient, lockdown. If you did not gain half a pound every day, you weren't allowed to have visitors or make phone calls that day. The meals were brought up to you, and we ate them with people watching us, like the staff had to be there. And so you had to eat like 100% of everything. Like if you had a packet of butter and you did not finish it, like you'd have to wipe it out with your finger and eat it, or you didn't get credit for eating the whole meal. I still have weird feelings surrounding food. I still don't eat out that often. One of the questions that students ask me during my speaking thing almost every time is like, how did you do that? Like, how did you just stop eating? Didn't it hurt? Weren't you hungry? And it didn't hurt. I wasn't that hungry. So I try, especially because I have children and especially because I have daughters, I try to be, we don't talk about food being good or bad. You know what I mean? I don't try to force them to eat if they're hungry. I don't deny them food if they say they're hungry. I'm trying to let them learn to listen to their bodies. So this is funny. This is the part of the trailer for To the Bone that got me when they talk about her doing sit-ups. Because that's what I did. That's the only thing you can do in private. I was doing like 3,000 sit-ups a day. My hope is that it sparks dialogue and conversation, but my fear is that it won't. I think people will watch it, and then there's going to be some 13-year-old girl who watches it and is like, okay, so that's what I need to do. All the like psychiatric illnesses, it has the highest mortality rate. So it's no joke. I know girls who have died